I just want to say this, that this is the central reality, I believe, that God is speaking, this plumb line of depth in God and friendship with Jesus in the hour of crisis. This is what he spoke to his disciples, John 14 through 17. The greatest trials were going to come upon them. In their weakness, they would all deny him. And he says this to prepare them. Well, we're gonna get into it, but he opens up his heart and reveals himself as a friend in the most intimate ways. That he sees them in their weakness and he chooses them. And then further in the story, he takes the most weak, broken people and he says, "You're qualified to lead my church." So this is what I believe that God is speaking a plumb line now, and we have to ask questions of just what is going on in the nation and the nations of the earth, and what can stem that crisis, what can stem that moral decline. And I believe that it's a people who, like the man that Ezekiel saw, are full of fire within, and it manifests in fire without, or inward purity and manifesting in outward righteousness. And so this is paragraph A, that Christianity, at its foundation, it's not just a lifestyle, a set of beliefs, a moral code, or even just a gathering around a cause. None of those things are bad in themselves. But it's that there's a person, Jesus, a real man, a real Jewish man, and he is a person to be known. He's not just a doctrine. He's not just information to just kind of gather and just kind of collect and figure it out. That he's a real person, and he's a person to be known. And so we've, in the West, that this central plumb line has moved away from this reality. Instead, it's replaced by what seems to be a vague and ambiguous concept of what it means to be a Christian. That if you give yourself to a few activities, if you give yourself to a service a week and just kind of reform your morals a little bit, that you're a Christian. But God it's so much deeper than that. And this is what I believe that he wants to do, is he doesn't just want just a workforce. That he opens up his heart and he wants to bring us in as friends. Not just as servants. John 15, well, it's on the notes, 15:15, he says, "No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends. For all things that I heard from my Father I have made known to you." Jesus is at the end of the age, the crucial subject is going to be the man Jesus. Of all the other things, the most crucial subject is going to be, who is this man? The same question that was asked, that Jesus asked his disciples, is going to be asked. I believe he's asking it to the church. Who do you say that I am? But as it was in Noah's day, that mocking spirit is going to arise again, and it's going to say, why do you give yourself to this man? It doesn't make any sense to me, and you're a fool for doing it. And it's going to increase. And so if you feel stirred, the end of the age, if you feel longing in your heart for preparation, give yourselves to plummet the depths of the revelation of Jesus, to plummet the depths of his nature and his character, that your life would be relevant in that hour. And so I just want to unpack this a little bit. Paragraph B, without our hearts filled with correct knowledge, understanding, and revelation of Jesus, the pressures at the end of the age will be unbearable. As we gaze on him, we find a man who's filled with zeal and burning desire, not apathy or tolerance. We find a man who is filled with zeal. Daniel Lim spoke last night on the zeal of the Lord, the burning heart of Jesus. So there are, we know he is longing for friendship. He says that friends of the bridegroom is coming back. Jesus, the Lord, is coming back as a bridegroom God. He's coming back with fire in his eyes, and he's coming back for the Father, that the Father would have a family and the Son would have a bride. Not just a workforce. This is in his heart, is that he says, I don't just want people off at a distance just to do things for me, but I actually want friends on the earth who hear my voice and respond to my heart that I could actually partner with. That's Matthew 25, the wise virgins, they cultivated oil. They didn't just shine their lamps to make them look good, but they knew that the inward realities that were going to be relevant in that hour, that they must lay hold of them, that their lives would be relevant in that day. And so God is saying, I want to bring you, the Lord is saying, I want to bring you in as friends to my heart. So here's the crux, is that we can't lay hold of that depth of friendship if we don't even know what it even looks like. So there's a few things here that it's the invitation to friendship. It's the revelation of his desire for us, how he feels for us. You feel a drawing in your heart, even over this weekend in worship or whatever. You may have felt just like a pulling in your heartstrings. That is God's invitation to friendship. That's God's invitation not just to salvation, but to salvation, if you're not saved, but it's unto something. And it's unto that place of encounter. Because he doesn't just want to give us a get-out-of-hell-free card and then just kind of put it on coast mode and that we would just kind of go through life just disconnected from his heart, not partnering with what he's doing in the earth. And then he says, I'll see you either when you die and go to heaven or when I return to the earth. Good luck. He says that I'm a man that is filled with zeal and is filled with desire, and I want to bring you in as friends. So there's a substance of that friendship, and that's relational knowledge. That is, this is what it is that you're the most intimate with those who you know the deepest. So, like a husband or a wife, or a best friend or whatever, when you encounter their heart, when you know more about them, your heart is stirred, and you're even filled with longing to even get in that relational place where I want to know more about you because my heart is stirred. And so then that usually results in overflow. And you have to, there's a process that the Lord takes us into. There's a reason why the first commandment, why Jesus said that this is first place. I want this first place. It's because he wants not just a workforce like I was saying, but he wants a people brought into his heart. And then out of that reality that it would result in a lifestyle of overflow. And we tend to just focus on the doing the lifestyle of overflow and ignore the first commandment because we don't fully even know what it looks like. And so I believe that